Hey guys, Surgeon here with another Cigar Federation video review. Today we're going to be reviewing a new stick from Duran Cigars called the NicaTabaco No. 2. You can see that right there. This is a budget-oriented stick. The NicaTabaco name comes from the name of their factory in Nicaragua. It features a Nicaraguan wrapper, an Ecuadorian binder, and Ecuadorian Corojo filler. This is a 4 7/8 by 50, and they're sold in bundles of 20. If you're wondering about the price, $1.70. You heard that right. They're $1.70. This is a very, very budget-oriented stick. Not sure what to expect. We don't review a lot of budget-oriented sticks in Cigar Federation, so this might be a new one for us. But we'll get to the lighting and cutting and all that good stuff in just a second. So first off, do a nose of this and see what we can pick up. Just lots of barnyard and hay, sort of an aged wood. Not much else there. Maybe some light leather. Lots of fresh hay in the foot. That's about it. So we'll get to the lighting and cutting here. So by now you should all know my routine of pre-lighting, cutting, smoking. So we'll get right down to it here. It's actually a pretty decent day today, so I shouldn't have any lighter issues whatsoever. Give this a nice toast. Again, making sure not to scorch the wrapper, which is always the challenge. You want just enough heat to get that foot lit without scoring the wrapper. That looks good. Give that a nice V-cut. Success on the first try. So the draw is a little on the tight side. Lots of hay and dry cedar on the initial draw there. Not a lot going on in the retrohale. Maybe some slight creaminess. So we'll let the first third settle in here and see what other flavors come to the surface. So there's a little bit of cocoa coming through, but it's very faint. All the flavors in this are not even light plus. I'd say they're quite light. You've got a little bit of sweetness coming through. Most of the flavor profile is a dry cedar, and there's sort of a hint of cocoa. And that's all I've got going on in the first third. So I think the first third's going to have to settle in to see if we can get any other flavors going on here. Sitting at the 10-minute mark. Burning well, holding the ash well. Construction seems fine. Not a ton to report on the flavor. Again, you know, really what you've got going on is cedar, hints of cocoa, maybe a touch of nuttiness. There's just not a lot of complexity here, and it's going to sound like I'm bagging on the cigar, but I mean honestly, at an MSRP of $1.70, you're not going to expect to be blown away in flavor complexity. You just, I mean, at that price point, you can't afford super high-end premium tobacco. So for what it is at $1.70, pretty good. I mean, it's not terrible, and you know, for me, saying something's not terrible at $1.70, that's a huge compliment, I think. So we'll keep smoking this and see what other flavors come to the surface. Hitting about the 45-minute mark now. You know, not a lot of flavor profile change. And again, you know, it's not a dig on the cigar. I think you have to recognize this is a $1.70 cigar, which is a budget-oriented cigar. You know, it's all right. I mean, it's all right for what it is. You know, I'm not really expecting a ton of flavor profile changes, and I'm not getting that. It's totally smokable cigar, and I think it'd be super approachable for a new smoker. Just hit the 1 hour mark. Largely cedar going on in the middle third. There is a little bit of nuttiness. There was a little bit of slight bitterness, or a slight bitter earth coming through at the middle. But cedar is really dominating the profile at this point, and it's got a drawing mouthfeel. So you know, I would definitely pair this cigar with something to offset that. You know, it again, totally smokable, but you know, you're not breaking the bank on flavor profile complexity here. So I'll check back in if there's any other flavors to report on in the middle third, or otherwise you'll hear from me in the last third. In the last third of the NicaTabaco No. 2 factory blend, not a lot else to report. The bitter earth that was in the middle third is pretty much gone now. Back to more cedar. There's a little bit of hay coming through. Again, totally smokable cigar. you really can't expect a super amount of complexity out of a $1.70. These are obviously not cigars that are positioned for somebody like me or somebody who's a lot of boutique smoker, but somebody who wants a budget-oriented cigar. I mean, you really can't go wrong for a $1.70. I think I'm amazed that they can produce something this smokable for that price point. Appreciate everyone tuning in. Make sure to check out our written review at CigarFederation.com. And if you like and enjoy our content, like and subscribe on our YouTube channel, Cigar Federation. Thanks very much, and we'll see you next time.